26. Bo. Miriam is not here in the basement with the rest of us. Where is Miriam? There is a room with a shower, an old sink and a toilet. The large space, containing nothing but the mattresses between the soundproofed walls, is a concrete coffin. But if you look up and sweep your gaze across the ceiling, there are cracks in the gnarled grey. So I greet it politely and keep my eyes on it. It's been a long time. We don't know how long because we can't look at the sky and tell what time of day it is. We haven't eaten since Dad brought us here, but we have been drinking water from the sink tap. The sisters can't talk much. Our ages are blurred in the sands of time. No one is oldest or youngest anymore. We are just trapped souls. Lisa thinks it will soon be resolved, that we will start school and forget this basement experience. She is hungry, just hungry, lying on the mattress with Judith. Eva's mind searches and searches. Naomi has curled up against the wall and is sucking her thumb. Ada and Adina are at the far end of the basement. They wander aimlessly, hoping to find something, but there's nothing here. The only thing we know is that Dad put a lot of work into turning the basement into a coffin. We don't know why. I start to rock a little, but stop. I don't need to hide. I'm already hidden. What is Dad doing with Miriam? I look up at the cracks. The dark squiggles in the ceiling remind me of angels. But they say nothing, do not move. But they are here with us, can never leave. I close my eyes and fly out to greet Yellow Bush and Big Tree. They are still whispering and rustling in the wind. Hello, little one, they say. My senses are fully awake and very strong now. I float higher so that I can see the roof of the house and the chimneys of the neighboring houses. It is early dawn. The stars shimmer faintly, but the first light has risen over our little village. The trees, branches, and leaves know we are here. The hares and deer know. But the people have no idea. They know nothing. They have already forgotten the Wilson sisters since Dad told them that we had to move to his relatives in England. And yet we are here. My mind rests near the tallest tiles on the roof. The world is waking up, and some car engines are humming. In the neighboring house, the boy wakes up to get dressed, eat breakfast, and leave for school. He chews cereal. A comb runs through his hair. Down with the books in his school bag with a soft thud. On to all the school routines, gymnastics, woodshop, breaks with the marble bags. People are moving around and they're in total unknowing. Life goes on, but we are in the basement. Ada sees my tears, and she comes pawing on tired, wobbly legs. She sits with me and puts her arm around me. Don't cry, Bo. Don't cry. I've never seen Bo cry, Adina whispers. I don't want this to be their life. I listen in on Bo. I hear the red heart pumping, a strong and curious sound. I travel through the empty stomach. Calm down, I say. Bo? A little girl answers. She says she has a different kind of brain, but the rest of her is a little girl who is scared. She thinks it's too much, all the different girls who need different things. She says she is scared and that she would rather be a star. Okay, I say. Okay, Bo. Then I ask the singing voices on the other side of the cracks, who am I? They all answer, one of the Wilson sisters. What should I do, Yellowbush? You have traveled all this way to get here. Yellowbush laughs yellow, and the big tree smiles from its roots. We are here, always here for you, they say. Maybe it's night because they're asleep now. Ada passed out next to me. We are still dressed in flowery lady clothes. I listen to their voices in their sleep. Everyone is on their dream journeys, but underneath the dream is their truest self, true and beautiful. Esther has fallen asleep with tears on her cheeks, a scared little rabbit. But all she needs is someone to pick her up and stroke her fur, and she'll be fine again. It's as simple as that. Judith wonders why we are here, but she is used to not understanding. She waits for the sisters to figure out what to do. Maybe open the door somehow and eat the food in the fridge, because there is a fridge. She seeks the warmth of Lisa's skin. I hear Lisa's angry protests in her dream, and Adina's prayers. But Dad, please. No, Papa. I'm here. You're Adina. I'm on your side. It's you and me. Ada is waiting to solve things practically. She is ready. No one dares to touch Naomi, who behaves like a Naomi we don't know, motionless, with her thumb in her mouth. She goes back in time to the safety of the baby years. I go both backwards and forwards towards the timelessness. Although I am 5 years old, I am all my ages. I am mature. Despite the flat, dark insulation, there's so much life in this basement, a whole planet full of exciting and rich countries. Yes, I say, big tree, we are alive. 27. Bow. The hunger pains subside, dizziness sets in. The thickly padded, steel-studded door opens when we can't take it anymore. Someone, it must be Dad, throws some things down. There's food on the floor, a loaf of bread, a bag of apples, a Marabou chocolate bar. We jump on it, stuff ourselves. Wait, Eva tries. She can't gather her thoughts. Everything is eaten except 2 apples. Adina goes to take one, but Eva kicks her for Naomi. Naomi remains in the same position, curled up against the wall with her thumb in her mouth. Naomi. Adina slides over and starts shaking her by the shoulder, shaking and shaking. Naomi doesn't move at first, but then she whimpers. No, food, apples, come. Adina pulls up Naomi, who is speechless. Eat. Adina strokes the shiny apple over Naomi's lips, just like they did with me when I forgot how to eat. Naomi wakes up and eats the apple voraciously, then suddenly stops and closes her eyes. We are in pain, dizzy, sick, still hungry. And where's Miriam? Stolen. Come, says Eva. We look at her blankly. Our faces are full of shadows. We move closer to Eva, who has now sat up and leaned forward so that her dark hair falls over her cheeks. We have to stick together and help each other like we did in our cabin, okay? Her voice is hoarse, and she has to catch her breath. A whole eternity passes to the glow of the fluorescent tubes in the ceiling. It's industrial light, or, or if you turn off, pitch black, one or the other. It smells bad, sewage, and panic. Mommy, Mom, someone says into thin air. Then the door opens, and we hope for food. Instead, Dad comes down with Miriam in his hand. Miriam looks shyly at us. She has blood under her nose. Dad lets go of her and disappears. Esther stands up, pulls Miriam to her and onto the mattress. Adina shakes Naomi's shoulders as she lies in the corner. Miriam is here. Naomi laboriously sits up, confused with tangled hair. That night it gets cold, and we are shivering and feverish. Days, hours, nights. Dad arrives carrying a refrigerator. He places it against the wall and plugs in the cord. We can't move. Some of us are asleep. Bo is awake. He carries 4 full bags, puts them in front of the fridge, which is humming away, looks at us for a moment, then leaves without a word. Is he still our father? I don't think so. The madness and the emptiness have taken over. Lisa scrambles to her feet, looks at the bags, puts something in her mouth. Adina joins in. They eat from the bags. I want some too. We have eggs, but nothing to cook them in. Milk, yogurt, bread, butter, sausages. There is soap and detergent in the bag. We fall back asleep as our bodies struggle to replenish energy everywhere. He comes with a heating plate and some pots and pans. He comes with a washing tub. We manage to move around a bit, wash ourselves. Judith wants to play with Miriam, but Miriam needs to rest. She's bruised. Eva washes away the blood. The next time he comes, they ask, "Where's Mom?" How long will we be down here? Please, can't we go outside? He stands quietly for a moment, looks as if he is about to leave, then walks with quick steps over to proud Lisa, drags away with her. We hear the sound of power-hungry grunting from the far end of the cellar. This sinking hole is his universe, and he is King Poop. He walks past us. Lisa remains in the dark, in shock at what has been done in front of her sister, in shock until we have had time to sleep and wake up again. He comes with our belongings from the rooms we were once humans in. No one dares to ask anything. Judith gets excited about her toys. Esther starts reading a book. The food is never quite enough. Thoughts become sluggish, eyes glazed, lips cracked, but we are all together again. That night, we wake up to screams and thuds. We blink in our artificial fluorescent light. It's Lisa. I recognize her voice. She is in the far corner. We watch in the gloom as she kicks and punches the wall while making desperate noises. Come on, says Eva. When we next wake up, Eva and Esther have prepared breakfast for us. We get hot water in plastic cups after the cold night. We get half a slice of bread and a quarter of an egg. We all sit together in a semicircle on the mattresses. What are you doing at school today? Eva asks in a low voice. What do you mean? Ada mutters with egg crumbs on her lip. Are we going to school today? Asks Adina. Well, If you were going to school today, what would you do? Um, Math? Math, yes. Judith, do you remember what 2 plus 2 equals? Miriam whispers in Judith's ear. She says very gently, 4. Exactly. Bravo, Judith. What would the rest of you do today? They reflect on life and living. What would you do, Lisa? We are waiting. Go to the US and never come back, says Lisa. We get tired again and can't take it anymore, but I can see a road beyond the shadows. Hello, road. '28, Bo. Days pass and become weeks. Little by little, our planet is built. He gives us a table and 3 chairs. But my sisters forget what shadows and light look like when they dance on asphalt. We get a tub for washing, and Judith likes to bathe in the tub. She and Miriam play. But they no longer remember all the gray and yellow shades of the lake in the morning sun. We get crayons and drawing paper, but when we ask for tape to put up the drawings, he gets angry and punishes us with starvation and rape. But then we get the tape anyway and can put up the drawings. When they hang on the wall, we are stunned and amazed. So much color, so much comfort in life. They are friends. They are heaven. Muscles and bones are sore from the lack of sunlight. Our minds wander here and there. Thoughts are hard to focus. Esther and Ada are mumbling and talking rather incoherently. They are here and there in a game they played when they were little. Eva takes care of the food when no one else can, and when there is only moldy bread left, she boils water and gives it to us, saying that she has added sugar, even though it's not true. Naomi is sucking her thumb. Miriam's wounds have healed. She wants to make dolls out of socks. Falls asleep but wakes up in our pitch black darkness and cries out in fear. Little Judith lies and combs my hair with her fingers, with tired, clumsy movements. Then we just lie and look into each other's eyes. She feels safe then. The door opens and he comes down the stairs. Who will he take? Does he have food? But he is not alone. She is there. Someone wants to call Mom, but can't. We are silent and look at them both. She stands there calmly studying her large litter. I feel my Esther's heart sinking like a stone. What has happened to this mother? Now I understand. She was not tired before, but full of hate. Her religiosity, depression, illness, absenteeism are all just hate. Now that she has acknowledged her hatred, she can cope better. She can be in Malmö and buy new clothes, even talk to people. The power is smoldering in her center, that they have succeeded, that they have their secret and their 9 lives completely in their control. A sweet, intoxicating secret that she thinks is love, but is not. Esther, he says. She stands by, studying everything carefully as he steals Esther in the darkness on the mattress he has put there for his special purpose. When they are gone, it is silent. I see how sisters crack and crumble like the leaves of a big tree in the fall when the wind blows them away. Now, says the angels. I go over to Esther, where she is curled up on the mattress. Leave me alone, Bo, she says hollowly. I lean forward. I say, Esther. Esther turns her head and looks at me, and I see how she is resting in the shadows, how she waits, how she is getting ready. Now she chooses to come. Bo? I nod. Yes, my hoarse voice hisses. Bo. Yes, Big Tree. Now. Does she talk? I heard. Yes, I hiss. Come, I say. Goes out on the floor. Sit around. They sit in a circle around me on the floor. I watch with satisfaction. I grab Ada's and Miriam's hands. They all grab each other's hands. My voice clears through the hoarseness as I bring them with me. We are traveling. It's cold. Snow is falling. Wet flakes melting on our cheeks. We're going to the lake. We're going ice skating today. Only sisters can hear Bo's voice. We build a home in the basement. We are building a community. In the mornings, we wake up. We're all very slow, but it works. And shower, straighten the mattresses, comb the hair, eat breakfast or invisible, imaginary breakfast if there's no real food. Then we have school, and the older children teach the younger ones everything they know. We have recess with gymnastics, gentle jumps, and we cook something to eat. After lunch, we clean and wash, and then we are finished and lie on mattresses and travel. Eva is writing a diary with her finger against the wall. Lisa, Esther, and Ada are fantasizing. Miriam and Judith are playing lazily. Adina decides that we should have a TV show with news, children's theater, fashion, and horror movies. Naomi will like that, so now she can stop sucking her thumb and get up. Before lights out, we sit in the ring. Bo takes her sisters away on journeys of taste and touch. They give us food, sometimes sweets, so they can call themselves nice, play God, but laugh at our rotting teeth. They are wrong. The only one who has power over Bo is Bo. Chapter 26, 27, 28 comments. I feel sad as I read because I remember the sense of horror, loss, and ruin associated with the rapes. My father's abuse began when I was 4 and lasted until I was 15 and managed to escape. These rapes, which lasted for 11 years, were a crime I would compare to being locked in a cellar where no one can hear you scream your screams. They are, of course, real-life examples of children being locked away for years by their abusers, and this leads to big headlines and outrage. But there's no need for locked rooms when your abuser is a parent and the abuse begins at an early age. A child subjected to this is the abuser's emotional and sexual slave. The threat is so great that shame shatters and shackles you. The psyche shatters. Dissociation and memory loss become necessary just to cope with life at all. Every act of abuse feels like an eternity in a darkness from which there is no escape. The Wilson sisters' different reactions were what was going on inside me whilst I was being abused at home. When I was 15, I had almost all 9 of my parts, and they had to relate both to each other and to me. Not all of them were always aware of everything that was going on. I was sent to a treatment home when I was 16 and stayed there for 5 years without support or therapy because the care was merely about keeping me there, whilst very difficult things were happening all the time at the care home. I had active and undiagnosed DID. At the time, I felt that the treatment home was a prison. My fear was total and there was no way out. Inside me, 9 children were trapped in a situation that was far too terrible. Time stood still, the threats were constant, and the abuse continued. Those around you may react to the fact that you're changing, but they can't understand how deep the pain is, that you can't just lie there sucking your thumb or become completely withdrawn and absent or defiant or despairing the next moment. Time passes, but not within the fragments. Having DID means being lost in time and space, like a ghost reliving the moment of their death over and over again. But deep down lies the core, the voice, which intends to survive, and which knows what love and light are.